Something you should know about me, because I'm sure it's going to come up a lot, is that I have a rather serious obsession with Kickstarter. And there's this one thing that I've been waiting for over a year, and I just got an email that it is shipping this week. So I've been like a puppy sitting in a store, waiting, looking through the window for somebody to come by. We'll do a video on that when it comes, but for now, all right, people, I'm Garrett, this is Making Movies, and today we're looking at what to do with your MLV Magic Lantern RAW video files. Magic Lantern RAW, aftermarket firmware for Canon cameras that unlock their ability to do all sorts of crazy shenanigans that they weren't originally created to do. So Magic Lantern wraps their RAW files in a .mlv format, and that's not something that plays nice with anything. So this is the easiest way to take Magic Lantern RAW, MLV RAW files and transcode or convert them into file formats that play nicely with all the tools that you would use every day. I have this file that ends in this .mlv format. I have to transcode this or convert this in order to make this something that is even remotely usable. The app that I use is this app called MLV App. Pretty self-explanatory name, but it has the simplest UI I've been able to find. So we go ahead and we fire that up, and it's going to open on a window that looks like this. So what I want to do is I want to get this file inside here. So we're going to go right in here to where it says import MLV file to a session. Open it up, and you'll see here I can play back at a somewhat stunted playback here. The shot that I shot, it actually will play this file, so we know that we're on the right track. What's really cool about this though is that I actually have the ability to load in LUTs directly onto this file. If I know the creative look that I'm going for, I can load in a LUT and know that I can get it exactly where I want even before pulling it out of this app. I have the ability to process this footage. This is going to look pretty similar to what you would see in Lumetri or some of your basic panels in Resolve. So I can go ahead and adjust this as needed before exporting the shot. If you're comfortable working with RAW files, so you wanted to export these as DNG or Cinema DNG files, you have the ability to click this RAW correction here and adjust some more serious parameters if you're into that kind of thing. Generally, for ease of operation, if I'm working on stuff for the internet, I really want to convert these to ProRes files. A very large, high quality codec. I can adjust some of my imaging here before I get it out from RAW into ProRes, and then I can do all of my coloring in Resolve or in Premiere and do all of my fine tuning and tweaking there. Regardless of where you want to take this footage, you're going to click this little gear icon here. This is our export settings, and you'll see here under codec, we have a whole host of options to export from. But for what we're doing here, I'm going to stick with 422 LT. Still a high quality codec, not quite as big as a 422 or 422 HQ, but still maintains a fair amount of the detail that I want there. You have the option to resize, override your frame rates, all that. I don't need to worry about any of that. I do want to keep the audio because with at least the EOS M, I have the ability to record audio with my RAW files, and I want to make sure that I maintain that. So if I want to use some of that sound in the mix, I can do that later, and we can click close here. And then you'll see this icon here. This is the one that actually allows us to export our selected clips. You'll get this export window here. Select where you want to save it and click save. Do know that it does take some time to do this level of transcoding. So if you've shot a whole bunch of clips, know that it might be best to do all of your settings, export, give yourself some time. That said, this moves much faster than a lot of the apps that I've seen. I'm pretty happy with how quickly this thing moves, and I don't have to work with a RAW workflow or a Cinema DNG RAW workflow. ProRes kind of gives me the best of both worlds. So I get all of the flexibility of RAW to get my image close. I can export it and then have the ease of ProRes to do all of my final kind of fine tuning for it. And when you're done, it'll say your export is ready. You'll see here under where my MLV was, I now have an MOV file. I can open this in any of the apps that I normally would open it in. So QuickTime, VLC, whatever. It will give me my full resolution image. It will play back at the proper speed, and it gives me everything that I want it to have. That's it. Anyway, I hope you guys found this helpful. If you did, give this video a like. If you want to see more stuff like this, hit subscribe. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next episode.